What's going on, baby boys, baby girls, ladies and gents? Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another So-So production. We're doing it on Monday, December the 5th, 2022, last month of the year. 4 more weeks, and it's January 2023, baby. But I'm excited to be here with you right here, right now. Thank you for joining me every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Where can you find these beautiful videos? On the lines, on the tubes, talking about the YouTubes, patreon.com/robsadri, Instagram as well. Glad you made it. It's the name of the show, and we do it every, again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 45 minutes to about an hour and a half. On some occasions we just have some fun, keep it light, keep it loose, hang out, do a little podcast, and everybody's on their merry way. And that's what we do together, have some fun. Oh my goodness, there's been so much funny incidents happening, and we'll get into it, man. We will get right into it. Let me just have a sip of this wherever you are. If you're joining me, it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. And again, we're gonna just have some fun today, baby boys, baby girls. Holy guacamole. Let's begin with a little bit of, man, soccer's been, the FIFA's been going on. It's, things are exciting. Very excited to see Japan and South Korea have been, man, they've been performing really well. It's really exciting to see. This has been it's been a very competitive World Cup, I'll tell you that. Just from a sports angle of things, just soccer perspective, just soccer. It's been I've loved it. So far it's been, I haven't watched all the games, obviously. I only have time to maybe go watch a couple of highlights here and there, but what I've seen is very high level performance, which I love, which just is the evolution of the game essentially. You see it from decades ago and like where people have come as a collective. Again, it's people who are doing it on the pitch and the people that do it off the pitch by sheer support. You know what I'm talking about? And the rest of us, and there's so many things to enjoy vicariously through each other. And that's the thing, man. When I see them boys, them men's dribbling them balls and chipping it and taking beautiful free kicks and doing bicycle kicks and just running back and forth for 90 minutes, man, hell yeah. I'm excited to see what happens. Let's see what happens, man. I don't know. I'm still thinking, it's anybody's cup. That's what it is. But shout out to everybody doing it. Yeah, there are a lot of great matches remaining, and we'll see what happens. I think in about 2-3 weeks we'll find out. And I'm excited. But thank you, everybody, the athletes, the everybody, man. And you know what it is, baby boys, baby girls. Not gonna get into any other aspects of the FIFA World Cup. Hopefully we are learning as we go along the way. Let's just say that. What else is going on, man? Oh, man. One of the funniest things has happened, and I don't even know how to, let's, before we get into it, how tight do we keep it in here? First of all, oh, man. We keep it as tight as your mother's box before you came out that womb and stretched it out. We keep it loose like an elephant, a female elephant who's been giving births to a lot of baby elephants whose vag is loose. We also keep it loose. So it's a nice tight looseness balance that we keep around here. And yes, funny thing over the weekend, I think over the last week or over the weekend, I don't know, just in the past several days it occurred, and Ye's back in the news cycle. He's been at it. He's been, man, boy's wilding out. All right. It all started, I guess, with I'm just gonna try to frame it in my mind to the progression of Ye thus far. So it happened, I guess he had an interview with Tucker Carlson several weeks ago. It was all right. Two men talking, exchanging ideas. Nothing, nothing to get your panties twisted in a bunch over, But then started going off on other platforms, and he started going off about, you know what it is. I don't need to go into the deets, but we will maybe go into the deets. Yes, definitely, because it's funny. Because at one point, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. I think from what I've seen, a lot of people have been coming out and like wherever he's been going, a lot of the hosts, a lot of the people, like I think he went on Drink Champs, and he said some wild shit, and everybody's like, hey, do you think that you're maybe, overgeneralizing, maybe you're mad at a few people, this, that, and the other, and he's like, he doubled down, he tripled down, he quadrupled down, and then, because everybody loves Ye, myself included, because of mostly for me, it's mostly because of his music and me growing up with it. That's why I love Ye. But, yeah, that it's been, not gonna lie, fam, it's been a little hard to love you lately, dude. Because yeah, everybody was just like, all right, maybe he's having a whatever. Everybody's trying to be as cooperative and nice about the whole sitch as possible. But then I think like it just kept on you had several chances, and it's a weird little conundrum. It's a little weird conundrum, but it is a conundrum nonetheless. And it's funny to talk about because then after that, I think he went on to talk with Lex Friedman on his podcast, and Lex confronted him about a few topics here and there, and the overgeneralizations, and potentially making anti-Semitic remarks, and again, he's not backing down. And then yeah, it wasn't really fruitful in a sense that like there was in terms of progression of thought. A lot of people, like myself included, were hoping, all right, he's just like, he's going through some stuff. Okay. Divorce from Kim and the Kardashian clan, that can't be easy on anyone's psyche. Dealing with the music industry, not in it remotely at all whatsoever. But it does seem like entertainment overall, from my very little understanding from the outside, it can be tricky, just like any other industry. And he went on Drink Champs. He went on Lex Friedman's podcast. Then he went on, what else did he do? Then I saw him lately, I think, appearing on Tim Pool's podcast as well, or show. And he walked off as soon as he was confronted about some of his points of views and remarks. And that's the cherry on top of all this. Oh man, one of the best moments thus far in 2022. What in terms of entertainment? Just hold on a sec. We gotta. If you guys haven't seen it, hold on. Oh. He goes on to Alex Jones's podcast or show, and again, I think I didn't watch the whole thing. I only watched the part where it's just like, oh man, it is hilarious. Because he starts going off again, and he's starting to really like narrow it. Now he's like narrowing it down. No longer is it even like general, allegations to a whole population of people. It is man. What did he say? I think he said everybody brings something. Everybody brings something to the table. And then he went and he followed that. If that sentence ended right there, everybody brings something to the table that's positive. Or, if he just ended that sentence right then and there, it would have been all fine. But no, he had to, I think, follow it up with especially Hitler. But then he didn't even say Hitler. He said the way he said Hitler was with at least from, oh man, I saw it so funny. He said it with the hardest R, and it lingered on. He's like, I love Hitler, and like he put in the R's. Oh my God! And you see Alex Jones is trying to, and I like Alex Jones. I find him personally very entertaining, and that interaction when you see Alex Jones trying to be like, trying to like help with the thought process, hopefully direct it in another way and have it not be so, blatantly, I guess, ill-informed at this point. I don't even know what to call it, but you see Alex is like, all right, maybe we can see you're a designer, maybe, you can say you like the outfits and whatnot, but then, man, but he doubles down, he triples down, he quadruples down, and yeah, that's, that interaction, hilarious. What he said, man, the whole thing's fucking funny. Horrible messaging. I in no shape or form do we here at Glad You Made It support any form of hate or just you know ignorant behavior. Let's just put it that way. And at the same rate, I'm a big supportive of. I'm supportive of free speech, absolute free speech. And this boy right here, he is putting. I guess that's what it is. Everybody does have freedom of speech, at least in the U.S. to a large portion, to a large degree, and in Canada, more or less the same. Some it's tricky. It's tricky, but we are very privileged. We do have a lot of freedoms here, and yet that is, in my opinion, I guess that's man. That's a waste of freedom of speech. I think that's a that's just like I don't even know what that is, man. But first of all, let me just yeah. Up until this point, myself included, I think a lot of people were just like, "Oh man, we hope he pulls it together. Whatever he's going through, we hope that he gets the help that he may be in need of. Maybe he has a chat with somebody that may know a thing or two about a thing or two on the topics that he's potentially maybe interested in, if that's even the case." But at this point, I personally, again, love the artist, love what he's produced in terms of music. Some say they love him for his music. Some say they love him for his music and fashion. To each their own, and that's what it. But here's the thing, man. For me, I guess it was growing up. I really appreciated his music, and to me, it seemed like something that I could enjoy. And he showed up on Alex Jones's podcast or show looking like an ISIS bride. You know what I'm talking about? Wearing a full out he's got that ski mask without the eyeballs. So I don't even know if he's like I guess it's like see-through kind of like, but that that's he's doing it, baby. That he's into fashion, so he's bringing the whole like he's trying to make like the ISIS bride look cool. And if you're into that, man, you must be like, man, I love what he's doing with the old ISIS bride look. It's man, that is something. So there's that. He shows up in that, and that is that so showing up in a what is this? What does this all tell us? Showing up in a full out again. The only thing I could describe it as is an ISIS bride outfit. Showing up like that and dropping them remarks, and just like we take a look, everybody's like taking a look overall where we're at in society at the times, the overall climate of things. Everybody's like, oh man, this guy's saying what everybody else was not thinking. This guy's saying it out loud. He's one of those that and here's the thing, sometimes you have people in certain situations in society, you look and you're like, man, there's people out there playing checkers. And then you learn a little bit, you grow a little bit, and then you're like, man, there's some people playing checkers with each other, and then there's some people who are playing checkers, some people are playing chess. And then maybe you gain a little bit more experience, you go along in life, and you're like, man, some people are playing checkers, some players are playing chess, some players are playing 4D chess, while others are playing checkers, chess, and what have you. So there are exceptions, and then every once in a while, we are, and no, that's the thing. Maybe it happened before as well, but now we get to like collectively see it because everything's shared on the lines globally at a blink of an eye. So now every once in a while, you might see somebody that has progressed beyond the level of even playing 4D chess with chess players out there, advanced to the level of playing 4D chess with themselves, and I believe that's where Kanye's at right now. So that is, he is just like, how do I go about because it just seems like, I don't even know what it just looks like. It looks like high level self-sabotage, which is like, so this is like, I guess, a master class being played out in real time of how to, and hopefully we can all learn about this. And like, after a certain point, if you're like, man, I've had enough success and enough people, if you want to really get it chopped down, just follow that example and you will, man, oh man, I don't even know what to say, dude. It is Um, Hitler in the afterlife is probably really confused. I'll tell you that much. He's probably really confused. You know, he gets news that you on the on the ground level on planet Earth, you have gained a new follower. He's interested, intrigued. He asks, "Oh, who is it? You know, what do I have a new follower? Oh, that's wunderbar. Das ist gut. Yeah, who is it?" And somebody's like, "Yeah, it's Ye, formerly known as Kanye West. You know, he's a rapper in the United States." Oh, I wonder. And he was like, it's very confusing for Hitler because he must be here, and then he's like, yeah. Oh, what does he? What does he do? He's a rapper, and what is his background? What? And somebody in front is a black African American rapper, and Hitler must be really confused up in like the afterlife, or if that's a thing. Maybe like, oh, does he know what we're all about? Yeah. Because that's like the whole very, very much race based and like, and it's, I'm just saying. God, just like, yeah, I wish we could have had that interaction if we had access to like the, different realms or spheres of life. There'd be I bet you Hitler's probably walking around really confused right now, probably happy the fact that like it's a big name, probably not his ideal candidate, not your typical blue-haired blonde-eyed fella, but close enough, right, or something. So, and it's all about the messaging at this point. So, I mean, yeah. So, where does it go from here? Where does it go from here? Here's the thing. It was very, again, the message, horrible. Just ignorant. Just but here's the thing. If it was approached, not saying any of the anti-Semitic or man, it is so weird. Just because it's like, first of all, it's a big distraction from a lot of real subjects and topics that we should be concerned about and like working on collectively, individually, and what have you. So it does take away from real life issues, and it's man. Here's the thing, is this the end of Ye's political career? At least what he's been claiming that he wants to run for. I don't know if he's running for 2024 or maybe the years to come. Is this the final nail in the coffin in his at least career in politics? Because yeah, I mean, the way he's approaching everything, he's just like, I think that's, at a certain point, I think reality in terms of like, there's entertainment and then there is real life. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that you can't approach potentially running the world's superpower with 330 million people to 350 million people. You can't run a nation like that with the ISIS bride mask and the going on to take energy, time, resources to simply acquire what now seems like it. And I think a lot of people were like, again, myself included, were like, oh, everybody's trying to be like, I think especially in the age of like, me personally, I know a lot of people out there, we feel like, I just feel like, I'm not at all in support of any cancellation or cancel culture, but there is this, I guess, responsibility that comes with it as well. You know what I mean? So if you want to be taken seriously and be running for office, I think, showing up everywhere and just like talking about something that is not in any shape or form helpful, and it's just a big old, yeah. I don't see the point in any of it. I was trying to like, give him time, maybe he will like, and then like he just kept on like, again, doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down, and the latest one is like, oh, I love Hitler, and again, left a lot of people confused, and Alex Jones's face, and just If you've not seen that clip, please watch it. It's one of the most funny pieces of entertainment that I've seen, at least in 2022. Oh man, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. So yeah, I wonder if this is the end of Ye's political career. I hope he gets help, dude. I don't know what to say. I think a lot of people would, and by that I don't know. Whatever help that you, Ye, seems suitable like for yourself. In leadership, I think what the problem with the old way of doing things and the status quo of doing things is that you had like dogmatic leaders who got in and actually was like, oh, it's my way or the highway. I'm not gonna listen to anybody, and I'm never gonna admit when I'm wrong, or I'm never gonna listen to better ideas. It's just, and that's, I think, being demonstrated all around the world, that people don't like that mentality, that form of one perspective with blinders on and unwilling to look at any other thing, given several opportunities, with different people. So that at this point, I hope, you, not that he's even hearing this or anything, but I hope other people somehow convey the message to him. If I don't know, talk to people who are not looking to make a buck out of from you. Talk to people who are not looking to gain any access to fame or fortune from you. I'm not, you should, yeah, it is. I don't know where you're getting your info from. I don't know where and that it just seems like, at this point, it just seems like it doesn't seem like you'd be able to actually hold down a conversation and really pinpoint what you're upset about or what you're trying to gain out of all this. And yeah, this is a little bit, it seems like, I personally would, I would say this is probably, and again, I'm not an expert in anything. I find the whole thing hilarious. It's no different than, and you don't wish this on anybody, of course, but it's no different than, somebody getting kicked in the groin. You never wish it on anybody, but if it happens, it is hilarious. And this is an example of somebody kicking themselves in the groin. So this is, it's repeatedly, not once. You see somebody skateboarding on a rail, you're like, oh hell yeah, he's catching some air, he's doing it on there, and then he falls, and right on the nads, and you're like, it's hilarious. He'll be all right. At the end of the day, he'll be all right. The fella that took a fall on the rail, he'll be all right. And Ye will be all right too, I believe. He'll be all right. He's a multi-millionaire. He's got multis and millions. He's a multi-millionaire. Financially, at least, he'll be all right. He might not be, it's 400 or 500 million, a billion. These are all it doesn't even matter. You're rich. And that's the thing that, that's the thing too, that's one of the, I'm sure you've been definitely in business transactions or partnerships or acquaintances that you've come across. They might have wronged you and whatever. But at the end of the day, at the end, big pick energy, at the end of the day, you're a successful, relatively, you're in decent health, at least physically. Other aspects may be questionable at this point, but you got it going on, man. But you come off as, at this point, it just seems like, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like a proactive or positive use of energy resources and your abilities. That's what it is. It's so, I don't know how we'll see how things play out, and we'll see how things unfold in the future, of course. But for the time being, it just seems like, I would say, and again, this is, I'm a nobody coming from, who knows? I would, get away from they say I don't even know, in terms of stop surrounding yourself with just not beneficial people. It is, I don't even know what to say. It's, in terms of, but I think, politically, I think this is probably it. At least for the time being. I mean, I don't even know how you're even gonna come back from this, is because, not that you, that's the thing, it is so, Yeah, it's just like the poorest use of freedom of speech or just freedom of expression in general. That's I guess then that's probably a learning lesson for a lot of people out there. I don't know. I don't know. I wish everybody the best of luck. I definitely, I feel like I've always said this from the beginning of this podcast. I think the world needs more love. We genuinely do need to, yeah. But that's sometimes people in different positions of all walks of life do not so thoughtful deeds and actions, and yeah, I guess, and not to say, and that's the thing, people make mistakes and everything too, but yeah, it's yeah, I think overall Ye will be all right. Again, I just don't think this is gonna bode well for his political career if he was actually serious about it. But then again, it seems like to me, I think he just at this point likes, this is what I'm reading. I think this is a guy who really likes the spotlight. This is a guy who really likes to, get attention. And of course, as an entertainer, as an entertainer, there's definitely levels to that night. But yeah, this one's, yeah, I don't know. Somebody like, man, there's so many people you could have access to. Pick up the phone and like you could be speaking with. I'm not gonna name names, but there's plenty of people, I don't know, that you find suitable who are not, again, looking to gain something from a relationship with you, who can actually look at you. But then again, you got to be willing to listen, and at one point, if there is something which you are misinformed about or ill-informed about or uneducated about, that you should, hear people out and be like, oh, okay, I didn't know this. And I don't know what this will lead to in terms of his political career, but it was funny for a few seconds. And yeah, that's one of those moments. And again, entertainment history, well, we're gonna look back and be like, hilarious, but like, not so bueno overall, but hilarious. Man, oh man. And it's things are, because there's, yeah, it's, if you want to, I guess that is let's try to look at it from a from a funny angle, if you will. I you could say that's how you stay relatable to people. That's how you stay relatable to people, because we know now, coming out of the pandy, people are, everybody's just like, oh man, housing affordability is like cray cray. Oh, access to healthcare it's expensive out there, and people have concerns like, oh, how am I gonna feed my kids, my family? How am I gonna make sure my kids get an education? How am I gonna make sure that my elder parents are taken care of, either by me or somebody else, at a nice facility, a decent, safe facility somewhere? You know what I'm talking? Stuff like the people are. So how do you stay relatable? How do you stay relatable? By going hard on topics that you say things out loud that no one was thinking. It's one of those situations. So that's how you stay relatable, man. That is. Oh gosh, that one's a doozy. He's been at it like consecutively, week after week, of maybe a few weeks apart, but he's been in the news cycle repeatedly over the past several weeks, and it's just like it seems like you're watching one of those like cartoons. Like, what's Ye gonna get up to this week? It's so funny. It's hilarious. At this point, it's hilarious. I didn't think it was so funny in the beginning. I was genuinely like, oh man, it's something, because we all have those moments where you say something completely retarded, but then to have multiple chances to not at one point you got to be like, all right, I got to examine myself and be like, if everybody's saying something, and people who are like genuinely nice people are like, and that's the, I think right now in his mind, if I were to, I think in Ye's mind, he's kind of in like a Tony Montana mentality right now. I feel like he feels like, and again, this is maybe projecting, but I feel like from what I'm seeing, I feel like he feels like it's all like, oh, it's yay against the world. Even though I don't feel like in his heart of hearts he wants it to be that way, because I genuinely think he's probably, despite the past few, yeah, I think, I don't even know, dude. I don't even know what to say at this point. It is very difficult to be like, yeah, this person's loving when they're like, Oh, man, good times, ladies and gents, boys and girls. The reason why I'm, because that's what it is. At the end of the day, real people. Like, I'll read an article here in Canada, here in Toronto. It is now here in the GTA. It is now. This was just published over the weekend. That the average millennial needs to save for 20 years. That is, save for 20 years in order to be able to afford their first down payment on a piece of property. Again, that is, the average millennial will have to save 20 years in order to be able to afford a down payment, not the house, the down payment for a house, meaning the average 25-year-old will be able to acquire their first down payment around the time that they are 45. The average 35-year-old in the GTA will have to wait until they're 55 years old to put their first down payment on a piece of property, which means by the time they're dead, they will have owned the house or their property. And that is, these are the things that people, and this is here in Canada, but from looking around at the world, there is a lot of, the overall housing market in the globe has just been one of those situations where everybody was like, oh, construction, let's make monies and, buy up land, build condos, build houses, drive up the prices by creating bidding wars when it comes to selling them. And so over the years, we've seen the prices of houses skyrocket and overall affordability fall way back, where a whole entire generation and potentially the generation after us, millennials, whatever, that'll be Generation Z, and Alpha will be Alpha. Generation Alpha keeps going like this, they'll be able to probably put a down payment by the time they're dead. So if things keep going in the direction that we're heading, and these are relatable topics that I could probably imagine large cities around the world are also grappling with, whether it's New York, whether it's LA, whether it's BC, whether it's Tokyo, whether it's Shanghai, whether it's, wherevs. London, mate, hello. You know what I'm talking about. But, so there's real life issues, and then you have people who are, again, so in touch with reality on a ground level, and they're just like, oh man, I know exactly what the people are feeling. I know exactly what it's like to be, out there. And that's what it is, man. That is what it is. So you come out and say something that no one's thinking out. You say something out loud that no one's thinking about. That is how you stay relevant. That is how you stay, in touch with people. That is not how you isolate yourself, or it may be the way you isolate yourself. So I wonder what will happen, dude. I wonder what will happen in terms of, because this is a big concern. I believe it should be for a lot of people to be talking about this kind of stuff, because we do need to come up with some sort of a solution as to the ongoing problem that is the housing market. Because at the same rate, it's not like rent is, extremely affordable, or even affordable for that matter. A lot of places keep getting rent increases, and that is also, I wonder what it'll be. Here's the thing, if the housing prices were increasing and then you had the same rate of growth applied to the wages so that it would have been matching, no problem. But wages have not increased accordingly. I'd say probably till 80s, since the 80s probably. in proportion to the growth of the housing market, of course. But then again, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, fam. Maybe it's like, maybe you're like, maybe you're like Mr. or Mrs. Monopoly out there. Like, I don't know what this fool's talking about. I'm just like, cash money, uh, fast money, young money, old money. I got monies on that's what it is. So maybe this is just my perception, but overall, I would say, yeah, there's a lot of things to be like, you're looking around the world and you're like, oh man, so many things that are good. There's a war going on and between Russia and Ukraine now for 6 almost a year. What is going on in there? And there's like, China upheaval in China. It is, man. It is. People are like, China's been in the news as well. There's been a lot of people who are, man, and it's being suppressed too. It's not getting much attention, but there's a lot of disruption in China. I believe a lot of people have had it up to their last, they've had their, that's the last, you got to go according to, if it's the Middle East, you say that's the last straw on the camel's back. You go further, if you're talking in like, Asia, the Middle East is able, like, if you're talking specifically a little bit more Asian, you'd say that they've probably reached their last, chopstick on the old shoulder, or something along those lines. You know what I mean? Like the pressure is just like they've been locked down for F's. Economy's probably tanking. Holy smokes! And yeah, I wonder how their like in terms of housing market, I don't believe that they are. Yeah, I don't know how people would be able to pay their bills if they've been in constant lockdown for over 2 years. Yeah, that is something to be concerned about. But at the end of the day, there's, and then in the Iran, you have people who have been like constantly protesting for the last God knows how long now. They want like, they want to get rid of the regime there because it's just like no bueno. And I think I was reading in the news, I think at one point they may be talking amongst themselves and the government officials and what have you to maybe looking at addressing and potentially removing the old veil from society, like women having to cover their hair with a little hijab thing that they've got going on. But that is like, again, analyzing it from the outside, that is, the Islamic Republic is like a cauldron of shit. And removing the veil would be like removing a strand of hair from a cauldron of shit. So, you can still like, that pot, it needs to be just emptied out, rinsed out several times heavily, and, start from scratch. Because some places you needs to do that if you're just like cooking up a cauldron of shit. But that being said, and then lots of, what I'm trying to say is that globally, domestically, got a lot of issues to be like thinking about dealing with. And yeah, and that's, these are the things that people are like, oh, how do we build a safer, better society? How do we, and then somebody's like, who had a great idea. And again, multiple attempts at people trying to like, hey man, like maybe check yourself just a little bit. No, not at all. So it's like, so that's why I'm thinking Ye's career in politics at least is done. Otherwise, he's got a ton of money and resources. He'll be fine, I'm sure, at the end of the day. But it is hilarious to see all the things that are going on in the world. And this guy's like, yeah, I want to wear a face mask, look like a ISIS bride, and come out there and, hilarious. Again, oh man, hilarious. What else is going on? I saw this wicked video of this new stealth bomber that the US military is designed and is like, it's produced now. Holy shit, what is it, the B-21 stealth bomber, I want to say? It's a new bomber, stealth bomber, and it's wicked, dude. Why, you ask? First of all, because it's stealthy It's stealthy. Do you want to go place to place from A to B really fast without getting noticed or picked up by radar? Because this thing's just like doesn't like radar. It's like anti-radar. It sees a radar and it's like, yuck, get away from me, is what it says. It's more like the voice, and I would assume like the voice is probably more digitized and like, you know, get away from me, yuck, or something along those lines. But essentially, it doesn't like radars. And normally, I like tech, and I like airplanes, and I like jets, and I like things that go fast. So that's why it caught my attention. And again, the fact that it's stealthy, the fact that it's undetectable, the fact that it could be like right above your head right now. You wouldn't even notice, fam. It's right there above your head. Reach up, touch it. It's gone. Why? Because it's both stealthy and fast. That's why. B-21 bomber, stealth bomber. Is it the 21? I'm already forgetting the name. It's probably B-21. I want to say B-21. I don't want to check my phone. I'm going to double down and say yes, it's the B-21 stealth bomber, newly manufactured. And apparently, now here's the thing. It is a lot of money to you and me, but apparently compared to its prior models, it's actually a little bit cheaper to produce. Roughly, I want to say like high 600 mils. We're talking close to 700 mil per unit. How many are we making? And again, I'm using this we term very collectively because this is in the US and we're up in this bitch in Canada. But you know what it is, fam. We're like tight. They're fucking tight. So if you got thumbs, can we have some? We'll buy it off you. Will we? No, we won't. Oh man. It is like they're not used for anything but probably destruction, but it is fast and it's stealthy. And it's just good to have around in case we see one of them fucking like, you know, their mysterious cubes with the spheres, UAPs, UFOs, you and me, you know, all about it up in the sky. You want to be like, bitch, I see your cube with the fucking floaty device with the sphere and the cube, bitch, the B-21 stealthy. And then we'll send it up. And hopefully it'll be able to like compete with the fucking sphere and the cube sitch. Because if they can, then we're all screwed. That's why we need them. Unless we don't, this whole thing is... It's all top secret military industrial fucking complex shit, bro. You don't even know what you're being hit with, fam. Or some, dude. At the same rate the tech is neat. It's neato. It's fast. It looks like airplanes are going more flat now. It looks like a UFO kinda, dude. I haven't seen the back because they've not revealed the back. They've seen the back. We've not seen the back. I don't know what you got, got junk in the trunk, baby. I can't tell because you have not shown the back. Apparently they've only, displayed it. Fucking frontal displayment only, baby. Only the frontal region of this thing, because that's how we keep it stealth. We only show you a couple of dimensions just from the front, baby. You don't know what it looks like from the back. From the back, you may look at it and it's like not even there. Why? Because it's like it's painted like the sky. That's why. Stealthy. Yo. Stealth ideas for the sky and the planes. I gotta say, this thing, I know it's called stealthy, and I know all the other like airplanes you guys use like paint and stealth and stuff to like camo it up, but I've yet to seen a plane painted in like a cloud. Think about that, fam. Seriously, has this been put on the table? If it's the first time, I'm patenting it right now. Painting airplanes, stealthy airplanes / bombers, potentially in a cloud pattern. Why with the charcoal? You go with the charcoal gray. You go with the military industrial steel. You go for that blue steel. You go for that. You go for the silver. You go for the platinum. You go for that. The sun's hitting it. It's like, oh, it's right in my eye. It's reflective. What is going on? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? That's the B-21 stealth bomber is what that is. But again, I'm saying if you want it to be more stealthy, just like a little, like bubble fucking clouds on nobody will see that. Nobody probably will see this one either because it's like really fast. And again, yeah, it's just good to have. You know, I don't get to use it, but again, it's one of those situations to, you know, vicariously, like if I wanted to, it's nice to know that we have it, the collective we. You know, if your boy needs a ride from like A to B, and you know my car happens to be in the shop one day, I'll be like, yo, B-21 stealth bomber, let's go. You know, we gotta go Taco Bell. You know, real quick now, or something like whatever it's used for. Whatever it's used, it's a bomber and it's stealthy, so I'm guessing it's used for stealthy bombing situations. But it's fast, and it's again 700 million, and we're making 100 of them. That is a lot of money, man. 700 million times 100. So if it was like let's just round it up for quick math. If it's like $1 billion per plane, and if it's we're making 100 and it's $1 billion each, so it's like 100 billion, you know, close to 100 billion. That's pocket change for some. For us together, it's pocket change. Collective, because that's what it is. I think collectively, once you distribute it amongst the populace, you don't even feel that. Where is it coming from? I don't even know, dude. But point is, it is fast and I like it. Can I have one? You're like, you're not licensed to drive one of these beats, fam. How hard could it be? You know what I'm talking about? Everything's friggin' automatic these days. I'll put it on autopilot, dude. I will put it on autopilot. I'm not gonna parallel park or nothing with it. Just like, you know, fucking straight up, take off, straight down, landing. And no, I will not pop out of the chute, dude. If you think I'm gonna eject just to be like I ejected, okay, I will probably eject. I will probably eject. Don't give it to me. Do not give it to me. Or give it to me. No, definitely do not give it to me, because I will, Matt, dude, if I'm going up there fast and I just want to be like, you know, eject, I will eject, fam. That button is so tempting. But luckily, in our collective planning and engineering of this bad boy, I would assume you left a little tab, plastic shield covering over the red button meant for the seat ejection, I'm assuming. Because you never know, because you're up there, you might just be like, oh, I'm, you know, whatever. You bend over to pick up your hot coffee and like having a little smoke break in the middle of like stealth bombing. And then you lean in too far and then, oh, you press the eject button, ejected. No, like you gotta have a little plastic cover on top of that. But you guys know what I'm talking about, fam. You guys, we're doing it. Fucking right there. Bird in the sky, dude. That's lovely. I like planes. I like it. It's nice. You know? So that is wicked. Wicked. What else is going on in and around this beautiful planet? A lot of beautiful events are, you know, it's almost the holidays, fam. It is almost the holidays, so it is time for us to come together. Not anything like, I'm not talking like, why you guys always gotta make it like some sort of like, no, I'm not talking about like a orgy stitch. That is, you know, that is for after the holidays. After the holidays are about like, you know, keeping it wholesome, keeping it, you know, because like afterwards you can come together after. Okay, fine, we can come together before as well. But I'm just, or you know what, more of a, you know, it's more of a saying than a, you know, sometimes it's better to say things rather than to take the action. So let us come together. Let us come together in this time of year and remember what's important. Yay. Out of all the things you could have been talking about. Oh, several times, not just like once either. And it's hilarious. Boys and girls, ladies and gents, I love you. Thank you for all your love and support wherever you are, sending it right back at you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Tickle each other's membranes from afar, from a near. If you got herpes, pass it on. If you got syphilis, pass it on. It is, after all, the holidays, and holidays is all about sharing and caring. I will be back here again on Wednesday. Where can you find these lovely videos you're asking? I'm glad you asked. On YouTube, on patreon.com/RobSadri, on Instagram. Once again, every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Follow me, subscribe. Talk to y'all very soon. Love y'all. Peace out.